Here I come, y'all. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Oh, Jesus, have mercy. The moment when you try to be in more than one place at a time. Oh, shoot. Not to spill the water. All right, welcome to my midday chat with Mr. 6'8". Hey, all of y'all. I'm about to knock all of this stuff off. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. This ain't what we agreed to now. I don't want to have to tear nothing up. Okay, so welcome to Mr. 6'8" midday chat. Listen, we got some just a little breaking developments, not a whole lot. I'm gonna probably keep y'all on here for maybe like about 20 minutes and everything, but y'all come on in. Y'all come on in the room and stuff like that. So look, the police report of Shanquilla Robinson. And some of you all may have already seen this. Y'all may have already heard it earlier today. So, if you already heard it, my apologies. But look, I work a 9 to 5 just like y'all. So listen, it'd be difficult to get up in here sometimes, but we up in this thing, right? Okay, let's go. Can y'all hear me okay? If y'all can hear me, just thumbs up. So I'm gonna read this. I had initially pulled it from News One, but I'm gonna read it from the Charlotte Observer because I feel like that the Charlotte Observer has a better write-up as far as giving out the information and stuff. But before I read it, I want y'all to listen to something here really quick. I want y'all to listen to something here really quick before I read it. As far as hold on a second, let me see if I can go to my page because it's really important. I want y'all to listen to this. Let's see. Where did I put it? There you go. Okay. You remember this guy? It took us an hour to get to the village. You remember him? Because there was traffic. Okay. I don't know why. So I got to found you. I said I killed her. Me good coming from by the pool. So the video. Okay, I want y'all to listen closely. Listen closely. Listen closely. So y'all, I just don't have them answers. I posted my flight itinerary. When I got there, I can't make that up. I can't. I really don't know what else to do but show y'all fucking the real tickets if I could even find them when I landed and didn't land. But I could post the video. I could show the video. It's gonna show the timestamps because it's in my archive. I got there at 3-something p.m. I made my first video at 4:26. Okay, you hear that? Hold on. By the pool, Shanquilla. Let me rewind it back. We got stuff to do because it's in my archive. I got there at 3-something p.m. I made my first video at 4:26. That's me outside by the pool. Shanquilla, get up, let's go. We got stuff to do. Let's go have fun. Okay, so he said he got there at 3:26 p.m., but he made his first around 3-something, but he's made his first video around 4:26 outside by the pool, saying Quilla, get up, they gotta go ride ATVs, all of that blase. The video y'all already saw. But I want y'all to put a thumbtack in that for a reason. So now that I've shown y'all that, let me go back to the breaking development. So let me just read. I'm just going to read and I'm going to give you my 2 cents. So it says information from a police report of Shanquilla Robinson when she was alive. Okay, hold on. Let me back up because that's not right. Okay, I got it. Information from a police report says Shanquilla Robinson was alive when medical help first arrived at the vacation home where she was staying with a group of people last month in Cabo, Mexico. The report differs from details previously reported from 25-year-old Robinson's death certificate that said she died within 15 minutes of being injured. Instead, a police report excerpt shows a doctor from a local hospital was with Robinson and others in the house for close to 3 hours before she was pronounced dead. Sorry, y'all, if I'm spinning. I'm just getting a little worked up and excited. Excuse me. The Charlotte Observer. Now, let me read that back again. Once again, the report differs from details previously reported from 25-year-old Robinson's death certificate that says she died within 15 minutes of being injured. Instead, a police report excerpt shows a doctor from a local hospital was with Robinson and others in the house for close to 3 hours before she was pronounced dead. The Charlotte Observer obtained excerpts from a police report earlier this week that had not yet been publicly released. The information was provided to the Observer by Gerardo Zinaga, an investigative reporter who works in Los Cabos for Metro Poly MX, and details were first reported by Metro Poly MX on Monday. Robinson is a Charlotte native who traveled to Cabo on October the 28th, which we already know. She died a day later. Notably, the police information reported by and provided from Metro Poly Mix does not mention obvious signs of Robinson's physical injuries, which family members have said existed on her body prior to her burial. Okay, so they're saying that the police information reported by and provided by this investigative reporter, or whatever the case, did not mention obvious signs of Robinson's physical injuries, which family members had already confirmed, because if you recall correctly, when her body made it to the funeral home in Charlotte on November the 3rd, her dad was able to see the body and they had to pull him out the funeral home because he was crying and just completely in distraught. Okay, so let me go back forward. Okay, so grave injuries to her back, neck were determined to be the cause of death after an autopsy by officials in Mexico. The police report says she also suffered cardiac arrest, which I can see her suffering cardiac arrest because of the fact that if you have had somebody beating on you as long as she had, I can see why she would have went into cardiac arrest. Okay, so that has been stated. Since her death, the FBI and Mexican police authorities have launched investigations into how she died. The lack of conclusive evidence and conflicting explanations has led to her story going viral, invoking global outcry with countless people closely following Robinson's death. The Charlotte Observer has been unable to reach those who were with her on the trip. No arrests were reported as of late Monday, which is this past Monday. The Observer attempted to reach Cabo police via email and social media messages and did not receive a response. Zuniga told the Observer he obtained the internal law enforcement report, which is that investigator I mentioned to y'all by the Metro Poly MX. He said that he obtained the internal law enforcement report through a source. Robinson's family did not return multiple calls and messages. Now, here come the good part, as far as where it starts to get really messy. The information from the police report shows that at 2:13 on October the 29th, medical help was summoned to Villa Linda 32, a property run by Cabo Villas, located in San Jose del Cabo. Around an hour later, Dr. Carolina Beatriz Ornelas Gutierrez of the American Medical Center, a local hospital, arrived to treat Robinson, according to report excerpts. House calls to the vacation rentals for routine non-emergency medical services are common in tourist hubs in Mexico. So if y'all recall correctly, initially it was stated that there was a call that was placed back over to the States and that they was needing $150 for a house call for a doctor, for a nurse to come, because I guess, the people had started panicking on what they had did to this girl. Okay, so then it says the Observer also confirmed with the American Medical Center on Monday that Gutierrez is employed there, which is the doctor. The hospital did not respond to requests for the medical and autopsy reports. It is unclear in the police report excerpt who called for medical help. So they're stating that according to the report, it's saying that it is unclear in a police report excerpt who called for medical help. So at this point, we don't know who it was in that house that called for medical help, but clearly somebody had to initiate the call. Okay, now it also states that, but the reporting person is listed as Winter Donovan, who we knew Winter Donovan to be the second girl after Dejanay Iman Jackson or Imani Jackson had already beat the girl. She was the second girl that had been stated to where, she put the hands around the girl neck and she went and body slammed Shanquella. Okay, that's who Winter Donovan is. Okay, just in case you all need a refresh. Okay, so she supposedly is saying is the reporting person who was listed as being the person that called was Winter Donovan of Greensboro. Donovan is one of 6 people identified by family, friends, and media sources as a person Robinson was traveling with. Okay, now it says Donovan could not be reached for comment, and her phone number listed on the police report excerpt has been disconnected, which I also knew from seeing. I also know from seeing on the news over, I guess, in North Carolina that there was an investigative reporter who had actually went and knocked on all of these doors or most of the doors at the addresses of where all of these people stayed at, such as Khalil Cook, Winter Donovan, Elise Hyatt, and Dejanay Imani Jackson and Nazir Wiggins. Now, I don't know exactly how many of those he knocked, but I do know that it was a person that went and knocked on the door, and they also did not get a response or could not get a response from any of them. So they're stating that they, did not receive a response, or she could not be reached for comment. Winter Donovan, that is, the person who supposedly called the paramedics or called for help. So then it says the police report excerpt is in Spanish, according to the Charlotte Observer staff translation of the document. Alcohol. That part is important. It says that according to the Charlotte Observer staff translation of the document, Dr. Gutierrez says she was told Robinson had drunk a lot of alcohol and that the medical call was for Robinson to be given an IV. So apparently somebody had to say to the doctor that this girl needs an IV because she has intake or done indulged in too much alcohol and she needs fluids because she's dehydrated. Okay, that's what this is all saying up to now, is that's what they were told when they arrived on scene, supposedly, is that she had pretty much took in a lot of alcohol, which we know clearly not to be true. Okay, then it stated that the doctor reported that she believed, well, let me go back. The police record indicates also that Dr. Gutierrez found a female, which is understood to be Shanquella Robinson, with stable vital signs, but dehydrated, unable to communicate verbally, and appearing to be inebriated. Somebody define that for me, because I'm country. inebriated, inebriated. Define that for me. But they say that her vital signs appeared to be dehydrated, stable but dehydrated, unable to communicate verbally, and appearing to be inebriated. The doctor reported that she believed Robinson needed to be transferred to a hospital, but her friends insisted that she be treated in the villa. Let me read that back. Listen, I don't think some of y'all really understand the context. Okay, drunk. Okay, thank y'all, because a brother was struggling. But listen, y'all, let me go back and read that, because I don't think y'all understand what I just sit here and read. Because listen. Let me read that again. It said that the doctor reported that she believed Robinson needed to be transferred to a hospital, but her friends insisted that she be treated in the villa. Now, if this girl is going through and got all this stuff going on, why would her friends insist to the doctor that she be treated in the villa? Make it make sense. Like, did I miss something? Listen. Okay. Now, it also says that Dr. Gutierrez attempted an IV, but was unsuccessful. According to the report excerpt, it is unclear on what medication was in that IV. And I do recall that there was, I think the father had mentioned, Shanquella's father, that they had attempted to put an IV in, and somebody also had stated that they put an IV in, but the IV popped out. Okay, so clearly we know that the IV part is true, if nothing else. But a lot of this story is adding up. Maybe not to y'all, but for me, it's definitely like the pieces are coming together. Okay, so the fact that y'all insisted that this girl be treated at the villa and not the hospital is enough right there. If there was never a slam dunk for a cover up, that would be the slam dunk for the cover up. Okay, because all it's going to take is for that witness account, that doctor, to state that y'all told her to treat this girl in the villa and not take her to the hospital. Listen, I'm trying to calm down my heart rate up. Okay, so then it also says that the information from police says that the doctor was there for close to 1 hour when Robinson began having a seizure. The convulsions from the hold on, y'all. Okay, there we go. I was like, Lord, I hope my Wi-Fi don't shut down. Okay, so just in case it cut off for y'all, it says that the doctor was also there for 1 hour when Robinson began having a seizure. The convulsions from the seizure lasted less than a minute, according to the report. So she also began having a seizure. Okay, she began having a seizure. And like somebody just said in the comments, me as a doctor, it's my job and oath that I took to sit here and protect and serve as far as my patients. Ain't no way in the world somebody is fixing to tell me on what I'm not going to do for a patient that I clearly see in distress. Now it's got to the point to where this girl supposedly done start having convulsions and seizures and stuff because of the fact that somebody told you not to take her to the hospital and treat her in the villa instead. Listen, it's giving lawsuit is what it's giving. That's what it's giving, lawsuit. Okay, now, also, at this point, the patient's friend by the name of Winter Donovan called 911 to request an ambulance. Okay, so this would have happened somewhere around the time of that hour that had took place. It says, now here we go. Remember what I told y'all at the beginning? It says, let me read it back. At this point, the patient's friend named Winter Donovan called 911 to request an ambulance, according to the Observer Spanish to English translation of the report. This was around 4:20. This was around 4:20. Put a pin thumb in it. Keep a pin thumb. There was no. Let's take it back, shall we? But I could post the video, I could show the video, it's gonna show the timestamps because it's in my archive. I got there at 3-something p.m. I made my first video at 4:26. What he said? By the pool. Saying show the video, it's gonna show the timestamps because it's in my archive. I got there at 3-something p.m. I made my first video at 4:26. That's me outside. Y'all heard that right? 4:26. Now let's go back to the report. At this point, a patient's friend named Winter Donovan called 911 to request an ambulance. According to the Observer Spanish to English translation of the report, this was around 4:20 p.m. In the meantime, the patient presented with difficulty breathing and a lower pulse, and they gave her rescue breaths. Now, let's back up for a second because according to Nazir Wiggins, leave his name out of it because he supposedly didn't have anything to do with it. But sir, how was you around the pool at 4:26 and this girl was about to be out of here on her last breath struggling? But you said that you was by the pool at 4:26 making a video talking about Shanquella, get up, we about to go ride ATVs and all this other stuff. But how was you able to do that if the girl up here about to die? Listen, I don't think y'all hearing me just right. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just sitting here looking too much into things. Maybe the time zones are different. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sitting here overthinking things because it just ain't adding up. Clearly, when he made this video, Nazir Wiggins, about what his account was, he was going by Mexico time. Now, from this police report, we're going to assume that it was by Mexico time because what we thought to be initially that she passed away earlier was not the case. she was still fighting for her life somewhere in between the hours of 3 and 4. Okay, so let me get back to the report. Y'all make it out what y'all want to be. Maybe I'm just reading into it too much. I don't know. But it says, in the meantime, the patient presented with difficulty breathing and a lower pulse, and they gave her rescue breath. So I'm assuming that the person that gave her rescue breath had to either be the nurse, the doctor. It had to be in between the two, because clearly none of these people in here clearly know how to do CPR. I mean, listen. Okay, it says the doctor, now here go another part. The doctor, along with a friend, began administering CPR at 4:49 p.m. when Gutierrez, Detective Robinson, had stopped having a pulse. So that means that at 4:49, this girl was no longer alive or pretty much on her way out of here. Let me read it back. It says the doctor, along with a friend, began administering CPR at 4:49 when Gutierrez, Detective Robinson, had stopped having a pulse. And I'm quite sure, that's why I'm trying to tell y'all the timeline ain't adding up. Because if that's the case, and old boy talking about he was out by the pool by 4:20, how in the world you was out by the pool by 4:20, but all this stuff is happening in the background though? Talking about you was out there making your first video. First of all, you had told us that you made your first video when you pulled up to the villa. As a matter of fact, you said you had made 2 videos, and then you also went back and stated after you mentioned that you was by the pool that you was back and forth between the game room and the living room the whole time, while the other people was in there in the house somewhere else talking about what they was going to cook or eat for dinner or whatever the case, or just chatting it up or whatever they were doing. You claimed that you was out of it. You was in between the living room and the game room the whole time. Then you said you was by the pool up here making the first video talking about turn up. Listen, it's so technically, yeah, somebody said she would have passed around three something our time then, but it would have been around close to 5 something their time, according to what the report is saying. So then it says that the police arrived and talked with the doctor who was treating Robinson at 5:25 p.m. It's not clear from the information in the police report exactly what time an ambulance arrived from the 911 call. It says the report information indicates paramedics administered a total of 14 rounds of CPR, 5 doses of adrenaline, and 6 discharges of AED shocks without success of bringing her back to life. Let's read that again. Police arrived and talked with the doctor who was treating Robinson at 5:25 p.m. It's not clear from the information in the police report exactly what time an ambulance arrived from the 911 call. The report information indicates paramedics administered a total of 14 rounds of CPR, 5 doses of adrenaline, and 6 discharges, 80 AED shocks without success, which I'm assuming is like the AED shocks when they put the thing and it, make you resuscitate and they say clear. I'm assuming that's what that means. It says the police report information lists deceased person cardiopulmonary arrest as the reason police were called. That's what it says. It said, okay, hold on, let me go back. I'm reading too far. Unable to revive Robinson, Gutierrez declared her dead at 5:57 p.m. So 5:57 p.m. is when she was declared dead. Somebody do the math on what time that was back in the United States. So at 5:25, or around that time, we know that the paramedics tried to do all they can. They said they don't know what time the ambulance got called there, but that's what happened. That now they're stating that unable to revive Robinson, Dr. Gutierrez declared her dead at 5:57 p.m. according to the report. Their time in Mexico. Okay, somebody said Cabo is 2 hours behind us, so that's 4 and 3. So 3:57. So she would have passed away at 4 o'clock. She would have passed away at 4 o'clock. So that's basically what the report is about. That's the report. That's the actual report that came now. The actual official report. The one that we've been waiting for. So From what I'm seeing here on the report, it looks like that the doctor is to blame. Because once again, if you see somebody in distress, and I'm quite sure that as a doctor, if they really were a doctor, you would know, look, we need to get this person to the hospital. We ain't got time. We ain't got time to be sitting here trying to administer no CPR, get this girl some adrenaline shots and all that. We need to get her to a hospital right now. She need to be on life support. She need to be on something. It should be no reason why that girl should have still been there 3 hours later or however long until 6 o'clock almost, and she was already in distress and going through stuff way before then. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So this Dr. Gutierrez and the nurse who was there and all, listen, I told y'all, it's enough blame to go all the way around the world, period. It's enough blame to go all the way around the world, period. Because how is a doctor that took an oath to sit here and protect and help the patients and all of this stuff, you're gonna just sit there and let somebody tell you, no, we need to treat her at the villa? How somebody gonna tell you they need to treat her at the villa? Do they know anything about healthcare? Do they know anything about bringing somebody back to life? Do they know anything about what distress looks like? No. So how somebody gonna tell you to leave that girl there at the villa and treat her there at the villa for what? So y'all can cover up because you were scared of the truth coming out? No. Listen, it's just sad. It's sad. So many people feel that girl. It's when it all comes down to it at the end of the day. When it all comes down to it at the end of the day, whether it's Nazir Wiggins, whether it's Winter Donovan, Khalil Cook, Elise Hayek, Damani Jackson, whatever the case, Malik Dias, all of them, listen, from all of them to the doctors, the paramedics, all of them failed that girl. Well, I don't know about the paramedics, but I definitely know that doctor failed that girl. And it's definitely giving lawsuit. And they should sue the brakes off of all of y'all. Because you can't just take somebody else's advice and say, "Oh, we're gonna treat her at the villa," and I'm quite sure that all of the stuff that had been stated that we already had know to be, whether it was the broken spine, neck, busted lip, eye, like I'm quite sure the doctor had to see all of this. So at what moment did you make a decision and say, "I'm gonna listen to the decision of these people who have no medical degree and continue to treat her at the villa"? For what? Giving her IV fluids at the villa for what? All because her vital signs were stable? That's why? Because that's what it say. It say that because the vital signs were stable, but she appears to be dehydrated. And yeah, so they are saying that the maid, so basically, it is saying, they are saying that the maid found her. But to me, I feel like that part is still conflicting, because if the maid found her, but the people still had to be there, and the police report is saying that they told the doctor to treat her at the villa, then they would have had to be around still in order to tell the doctor to treat her at the villa. So whether the maid found her, they still had to be at their house at the time that the girl was dead. They could have not possibly left yet. And the fact that they had been working on her. Let me go back to the I done lost my spot in the report up here and got mad. I can't even find her. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. I done blew my voice out. I don't even know why I'm yelling, but I'm just mad about the whole situation. I need to go back and see the time. Hold on. Somebody asked me about the time. Okay, so 2:13 p.m. The medical help was summoned at 2:13 p.m. to Villa Linda 32. I'm going through the timeline, y'all. Hold on. And so it looks like that when they got there, that's when all of, I guess, the medical assistance from Dr. Gutierrez, including the nurse, had started, it looks like. But then it goes on to say that they had been working on her for close to an hour. So if they got there around 2:13, they said Winter Donovan, who was the person listed down as calling the ambulance, that was around 4:20. So somewhere between 2:13 when they first got there until 5:57 p.m. when she was pronounced dead, that's how long that they had been working on her. Simple as that. From 2:13 p.m. to until 5:57 when they declared her dead after the paramedics at 5:25 attempted to administer about 13 or 14 rounds of CPR, a couple of adrenaline shots, and the AED shocks to I guess resuscitate her. So that's how long they had been working on her, y'all, from 2:13 until 5:57 in Mexico time. And she would have been declared dead basically right at 6, which would have been 4 o'clock for us. Yeah, 4 o'clock for us. So, oh yeah, and got her dressed before they came there because they said that supposedly they had them put clothes back on. Now, I didn't see any of that in the police report on whether she was naked or dressed, but that's also another part is that, y'all got her dressed and then called the doctor or the nurse or whatever, and then they came back to there. Really? It's just, listen, it's not all giving me a headache. It's really not giving me a headache. I'm just disgusted. I'm so disgusted. I'm so over it. I have nothing else to sit here and say because at this point it's just like y'all failed her. Y'all completely failed her. Yeah, I need to work on getting moderators, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to work on that there now. I just got to find people I trust. But y'all failed the girl. Y'all failed her completely. Y'all completely failed. Even the healthcare people failed the girl. And the fact that I'm still trying to understand. Like I told y'all, I understand that as far as investigations are concerned, I understand that it takes a while because the FBI and the cops and the authorities, they're not going to tell everything to us because they want to kind of keep stuff wrapped tight. But I'm trying to understand, how is it we almost at a month and ain't nobody been found yet? Where's Khalil Cook? Where's Winter Donovan? Where's Dejamani, or however you pronounce the girl name, Dejamani Jackson? Where is Elise Hyatt? Where is any of these people? Malik Dyers. Where are any of these people at? Where are they at? Because it's October the 28th and October the 29th. Here we are, November the 20, what is it, 22nd we on? We almost at a month. Where are these people at? That's the biggest $1,000,000 question. Where are these individuals at? How can 5 individuals be hiding still? Which lets me know that it has to be a family. Somebody's family that's helping those people hide. Somebody said that I am a nurse. If you are working on someone that long, they probably would not make it anyway. After about 8 minutes of no oxygen to the brain, chances of recovery is slim to none. Listen. But my thing is that still, though, why keep her there? Why not just go ahead and take her to the hospital? If that is the case, and like I said, I'm no nursing provider, so I definitely, I'm not, debating on anything that you mentioned there. But if that is the case, why not just take her to the hospital? Like, why even keep her there? Why did it go on for that long to where they even continue even trying anything if it was that they had already seen that she was not going to make it? At least take her to the hospital. That's my only thing. At least take her to the hospital. At least make the effort. Try. But yeah, I do believe that those people's family members are helping them people hide, because how can 5 people go just disappear in a matter of seconds? And now we don't see haven't heard from them. We ain't heard no arrest being made yet. Like, what's really going on? The hospitals have equipment that can help. You ain't got that in Novella. Right, exactly. I'm just saying, why not? It's from 2:13 until 5:57 p.m. That's a long time. 3, 4, 5. That was 3 hours. That's almost 4 hours. So y'all mean to tell me that y'all just let's just say hypothetically they got there and they seen that she didn't have a fighting chance. What's the need for letting the girl stay there for 4 hours later almost? What's the need of letting her stay there for 4 hours later almost? 1 + 1 don't equal 2. That's a long time. If something happened to my mama or a family member, and I walk into the house and the paramedics, and do you think we just gonna sit here in kumbaya and we not gonna try to go to the hospital or something? You think I'm fixing to just sit here watching y'all work on a family member for 4 hours almost, and we ain't getting nowhere? No, if y'all don't take my mama to the hospital, I'm gonna sit here and throw her ass in the car, and I'm gonna take her to the hospital myself. I'm done. That's all I got. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry I'm yelling, y'all. I did not mean to yell. I'm just it just got me. I'm just livid. I need a break. I'm livid. I just don't know what to make of it. It's like the more the story unfold, it just continues to get that much crazy. It continues to get that much crazy. And see, that's the other thing. Somebody mentioned that they try to call her family during those 4 hours. So I'm not sure. I want to say that a call had to have been made to her family somewhere in between that time, because by the time her family got the call and they tried to say it was alcohol poisoning, Khalil Cook and whoever else, the rest of them people, she would have had to either already been close to deceased or deceased. Oh, and that's the other thing. So the father also went and stated that the people who were there at the villa, meaning Khalil, Winter, Elise, Malik, I guess Nazir, if you want to throw him in there, the money, Dudgeon money. Khalil, I'm assuming, would have been on the phone with the family, with the mom, from what I understand. But the father was saying that Khalil wasn't even letting the mom talk to the doctor. So how you not letting the mom talk to the doctor about your own child and what's going on with her? How you not gonna just hand the phone over? The doctor right here. How you not gonna hand the phone over? So they would have had to been there doing while all this was going on, because they stated that Khalil wouldn't give her the phone. No, but not give her the phone, but give the doctor the phone to talk to Shaquilla's mom back over in the States. Why? For what? Because you knew you was hiding something. That's why. You knew you was hiding something, and then you gonna have the audacity. You're gonna have the audacity to take yourself over there back to the States to her mama's house, eating their food, and up there lying and bringing her suitcase back, not even all of her belongings, talking about alcohol poisoning, until they had did an autopsy over in Mexico, and then you find out that you got caught in a lie, and you were supposed to have been that girl best friend. Listen, it's too much. But y'all, that's the breaking development. Like I said, I'm gonna stay on top of the story. I just had to come on here and vent. I've been holding on to this for about an hour and a half. I just couldn't get to y'all fast enough because I was working. But y'all let me know, drop in the comments. I'm sure we all gonna sit here and talk about it in the comments, but I just had to sit here and let y'all have that as far as the update and stuff. And just stay tuned, my fun sizers. It's Mr. 6'8" with another midday chat. And I'll be back. Peace. All right, y'all. So I'm fixing to try to get off here without messing up this live. I'll talk to y'all later. It's Mr. 6'8". Don't forget to hit the notification bell. All right, peace.